All right, and welcome to Your Health Truth. I'm your host, Brock Hardman, and today we're going to talk about aspartame. Yes, everyone's favorite little substance, aspartame. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I've written. I'm going to refer you to actually a document that I've already written. It has a lot of facts about what's in aspartame, how it breaks down, and what it does to your body. And so I won't go into great detail. I'll hit the high points and talk to you a little bit about why I think you should avoid it like the plague, and also some alternatives, as well as I'll briefly touch on Splenda, which is another alternative to sugar. And so aspartame, just a few facts, are that between 50 and 75% of all complaints made to the FDA are on aspartame. Now, isn't that kind of crazy? I mean, even if we go conservative and say that 50%, so half of all complaints, we're talking about complaints about food, all pharmaceutical drugs, and any other reportable consumable good that you can complain to the FDA about, aspartame accounts for 50% of that. Now, if you were a business and you were part of the Better Business Bureau and you had tens of thousands of negative claims against your business, you would probably get shut down. But for some reason, aspartame's been around for 30 years? Came out in the early 80s. And it's gotten more complaints than any other substance in the last 30 years. And I don't know why it hasn't been removed yet. I know that it's extremely cheap and extremely profitable. So that probably has something to do with it. But unfortunately, in the last 30 years, we've also seen an increase in almost every autoimmune and neurological disease that we've ever seen in humankind in the last 30 years. So I'm not saying it's because of aspartame. I'm just saying it's kind of curious that with all of these new processed foods and cheaper goods and ways to create synthetic products, that our health, we basically started to have a lot more health challenges. So, but I will tell you what the facts are. And I always encourage you to look for the facts, because I'm not going to be one of those guys that just gives my opinion without having any facts behind it. And the facts about aspartame are that, one, it breaks down into formaldehyde in your body, which is the same chemical used in embalming fluid for dead people. So, just like when I, did a talk about the flu shot and some of the ingredients of that, why in the world would you want that inside your body? Provides no benefit, and it's been proven to do damage. Now, that's just one of the byproducts that are metabolized when you eat aspartame. And, read the document. I'll put a link above this video. Go read. It's a short, little document that I created about aspartame. It gives you a few more facts about it. But you really need to try to find alternatives to it. And, the hard thing is it's about in every food. It's in almost every food. Chewing gum, a lot of the soft drinks, the diet colas, the diet energy drinks. I mean, it's in about, I don't know what the percentage is, but it seems to me like half of everything out there has aspartame in it. And you have to do, everything you can to avoid it. It causes, a lot of different issues. Irritability, a lot of neurological problems, moodiness. If you're around a lot of moody people, then just tell them to stop drinking aspartame. That's what it is. But not in seriousness, though, but it's, I've cut it out. It's hard to cut out completely because it's in everything. And sometimes I'll slip up and, chew a piece of gum that I forgot to look at the back of, what's in there, and it'll have aspartame. But, one or two uses is obviously not going to kill you, but it's a cumulative toxin. So people who drink like Diet Cokes, for instance, or other diet soft drinks every single day, over the course of years, it's gonna do damage. Let's just put it that way. Your body can only process so many toxins, and the toxic effect of aspartame is just not something that the body gets rid of quickly. So, I use stevia or xylitol are two good alternatives. You can see here, pure stevia extract. It's contains no other ingredients. It's just pure stevia, which is a plant, which is actually good for you. So now, instead of using aspartame, which has been proven to have negative side effects, we can use stevia or xylitol, which is proven to have positive side effects, and it's better for you. It actually tastes better. I carry one of these in my car, have one at work, and then I have one at home, so that I'll always have it on me, and so that I can use that in case I ever need to sweeten any beverage that I might need to sweeten. And and then briefly on Splenda, it's kind of the newer version of an artificial sweetener that just unfortunately doesn't have a whole lot of documentation, but the documentation that we do have does seem to point to more negative side effects than positive. It's actually a chlorine compound that is metabolized into chlorine. And so, again, you don't go drinking a glass full of swimming pool water because of the chlorine in it. So, obviously that's, more dramatic, but you get the point. You don't want chlorine free floating in your system because you don't know what it's doing to your body. And so I would highly avoid any artificial sweetener that is toxic. And so Splenda and aspartame really need to be at the top of your list. I would really encourage you to go do some research on aspartame, because you're going to find both sides of the story. You're going to hear about people that say, aspartame's not that bad for you. It doesn't cause all these problems. And then you'll see these people that swear that, they had lupus or some other neurological issue, Graves' disease. And once they stopped drinking Diet Cokes or stopped, eating a certain food that had aspartame in it, their symptoms just magically disappeared. So what I would encourage you to do is look at the facts, the fact-based research that's been done, and go with that. Because I could sit here all day and just tell you, my opinion is don't drink aspartame because it'll kill you. But you need science behind your explanations, good science too. So, and unfortunately, the people that defend aspartame, their defense isn't that, what I've said about the byproducts and the toxicity. They don't claim that that's false at all, because they can't. What they claim is, it hasn't been linked to all these diseases. It hasn't ever been proven, that all these diseases have been caused by aspartame, because unfortunately, there's just, not that much documentation on people who have had these diseases and scientifically been proven to, you get what I'm saying? So it's their defense is that there's lack of documentation for the claims, not of what the actual substances of aspartame do to you, because that's been clearly defined by science. So again, the best way that we can defeat the aspartame epidemic, especially in the U.S., because a lot of other countries have already stopped using aspartame. I think Japan, I don't know about China, but I think some of those countries over there have already stopped using aspartame for good. They've actually been using stevia for decades. And so, the best way we can conquer that epidemic here is just by stop using and consuming the products that aspartame is in. And that's it. So I would highly encourage you to, like I said, do some of your own research. Start looking at foods that may contain aspartame and just stop eating them. And, because it's, like I said, it's not going to kill you overnight. You may not see any difference, in a day or a week, but it's a slow, gradual death or disease that's going to be caused by aspartame. So I hope I've encouraged you to think twice about consuming those products, and feel free to share this with your friends. Hit the like button if you liked it. If not, leave a comment as always, or retweet, and let me know your thoughts. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye.